Hi, I'm Rich Croasdale. I'm the editor of Ferment, and I'm here today to walk you through some of my favourite beers from the Beer 52 Celtic Nations box, which is a banger. Celtic Nations has been a really brilliant box to do because we've been able to pick our favourite beers from Scotland, Ireland, the Isle of Man, Wales, Cornwall and Galicia. It was quite an interesting one to pin down from a magazine point of view because obviously these are all very disparate cultures, but it's been a real treasure trove of interesting content and, as you can see here, phenomenal beers. We're going to kick things off at 11 AM on a Friday with Jakobsland. Really interesting Galician brewery, opened by a chap called Henlo, he's lived all over the world, but he was born in South Africa. His story is very much about sort of his journey into fitting into Galician society and culture, and just a really interesting, thoughtful guy, making really interesting, thoughtful beers. So this is Supernatural. It's a hoppy pale ale. It's made with I think primarily American malts. So let's see what we got. Oh, it's lovely. So on the nose, you've got citrus and pine, really just what you'd expect from sort of a kind of a West Coasty style, I guess, American pale. It's lovely and clear. It's a beautiful amber colour. Again, citrus, some sort of berry fruit as well. It's got a lovely sort of a slightly astringent bitterness that just goes on and on. Yeah, quite light on the malt. I mean, that's yeah, really good, really good. So next we're heading over to Ireland for Whiplash, which is a perennial favourite of the Ferment team. They're like an art house brewery, absolutely fantastic. Promised never to get any bigger than they are at the moment, which I just think is lovely. They've brewed for us a grisette, which is a style that you don't see, certainly in the Beer 52 box, an awful lot, and I'm very excited about it. If you don't already know, a grisette is a kind of farmhouse ale, kind of similar to maybe a saison or a bière de guerre. It's traditionally, I believe, drunk by miners. I think grisette means little grey one or something. I don't know, look that up. Let's give it a pour. It's super light in colour. Hazy, as you'd expect, and quite high, tight carbonation, which I think is, it's definitely what you'd expect from this style. Oh, that's fantastic, fantastic. A lot of yeast influence. It's like gooseberry, cut grass, a little bit of black pepper. It's super fresh, super refreshing. I am probably going to drink the rest of this can once this video's finished. Next up, we're heading to Tenby in Pembrokeshire for the eponymously named Tenby Brewing Company. Very imaginative, guys. More Do, it's a Welsh Stout. It's, whoa, hello, cheeky. That was my fault. So this is More Do from the Tenby Brewing Company, made with that famously pure Pembrokeshire water. It's just a really good, straight up Welsh Stout. I'm going to pour some here. If you're ever in Tenby, there is a fantastic little kind of seafood shack where they sell fish just straight out of the water. So take a can of this down. The brewery's just up the lane. Take a can or a glass of this down. Get yourself some oysters or some cockles or a pint of shrimp. Will go perfectly. I mean, it's the perfect amount of sort of malty sweetness, bitterness, great body, kind of medium carbonation, and it just, yeah, it goes on and on with chocolate and coffee, and yeah, happy with that. Let's crack into Canines Pale Ale. Now this is an interesting brewery, run by a chap called Peter Canine, was a motor mechanic for like 40 years before opening his brewery at 59, based on the Isle of Man. So breweries per head, the Isle of Man's actually doing pretty well, but this has quickly risen to become one of the best breweries on the island. It's a classic English pale ale, brewed with all English hops, Endeavour and Pilgrim. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a biscuity, slightly nutty. The hops are very gentle, quite grassy. There's none of the sort of big American fruity or floral notes in there. It's just a really good amount of bitterness, quite a long finish. Well, it's just a classic English pale ale, which I personally absolutely love, and we don't see enough of them. If you've ever been out drinking in Edinburgh, you are almost certain to have gone to the Hanging Bat. It's an absolutely legendary beer bar right in the middle of town. Some of the city's best brewers have started out behind the bar there. It's a total institution. This one is an absolutely classic West Coast IPA, though interestingly brewed with two experimental British hops, Jester and Harlequin, I think. Maybe not. Jester's certainly in there. What's really interesting about these hops is that they give the beer that kind of classic citrusy, piney, resinous quality that you'd usually expect from sort of American West Coast hops. It pours a beautiful colour. I think that's from the caramel mould. Nice tight head. It's just a big, bold, piney, resinous flavours. Lemon rind. Nice sweetness from the malt as well. It's kind of medium carbonation. But it really lets that hop character. Shine through, which is just exactly what you want from a West Coast IPA. Yeah, cracking. That's just a few of the fantastic beers that we have in this month's box, and we really hope you enjoy them. Cheers.